Students, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Yes.
sir.
Right. Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Now, sorry for the interruption. That is beyond my control. That internet is not working at the university. That is a problem. Right. Anyhow, we'll start today's lecture program. This is the first lecture. You all are in second year, no? Second year batch. Second year students,
Yes, sir.
please speak. Your feedback is important. Yes. Is there any problem? Video is not working. Video. Students, your feedback is important. That video is it working, the video?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, right. Let's start. This is the second year auditing. What is your subject name? Auditing or auditing and assurance? Auditing and assurance. I think auditing and assurance. Can you see this blackboard? Students?
Yes, sir.
I couldn't see this. Right. Before we start this subject, I want to speak about this subject. This subject actually it's a practical as well as theoretical. In your syllabus, only the theoretical aspect will be tested. This subject is it's like a professional subject, right? This, unlike other subjects, this subject is very important. Even though you are uh, that other subjects are uh, even though you have to complete the degree program, you may have to sit for the competitive exam like government accountant service exams or Sri Lanka audit service exams or technical college exam or professional exams like chartered or ECCA CIMA. This subject is more relevant. So this subject is very important. Even though you are complete this degree program, the knowledge and notes are very useful after completing your degree program. If you intend to sit for the professional exams or competitive exams, this knowledge is very, very useful. I am very proudly telling you that most of the government accountants, auditors are my students. So you must take it serious about this subject. That past performance in the online, I am not agree with this online lecturing because most of the students, the previous exams, unable to get through the exam. I think this is a due to this online lecture program, students unable to get full benefit from this lecture program. And not only my subject, other subject also this problem is there, right? So you must, whenever the online program is conducted, I don't know, in future, the direct lecture program maybe will be arranged. Until such time, this program, you must take more attention on this online program. Can you understand what I am explaining, students? நான் கலைக்கிறது கேக்குதா?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? Can you understand what I speak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So this is the brief introduction of this subject, right? This subject, the second year subject, sometime third year also, advanced auditing syllabus, advanced auditing, other subjects also you may study, right? So before we start this introduction of this subject, I think it is better to list out the syllabus. What are the areas we have to study, or what are the areas to be covered during this 45 hours lecture program. Yeah, this lecture program total hours is 45 or 40. Students, how many hours allocated for this lecture program? I need your feedback. You should answer. You don't know how many
45
hours. Okay, fine. Thank you very much for your answer. So 45 hours, right? During this lecture program, 45 hours, I am going to list out what are the areas we have to study, right? First, today part is introduction. Right? Introduction of auditing. The second, we have to study assurance. Assurance engagement. Assurance engagement. Under this section, we will discuss key areas. Key areas. Key areas of assurance engagement. Definition of assurance or concept of assurance. Elements of assurance engagement. Type of assurance. There are two types of assurance, reasonable assurance and limited assurance or non-reasonable assurance. Then benefit of assurance engagement and limitation benefit and limitation of assurance engagement, right? So these are the areas we will study in this second section, important section, assurance engagement, right? The third one, general principles of audit of finance statements and professional ethics. Professional ethics. So, general principles. I think you may know what are the principles of accounting. Anyone knows principles of accounting? What are the general principles or basic concept of accounting? I think you are familiar with these accounting principles. Can anyone answer this? What are the accounting principles available or basic principles? Any students? Students, accounting principles are going concern, consistency, accrual. These are the fundamental principles. Money measurement, prudence, there are other historical cost, other several principles are there in the accounting, right? So likewise, general principles or ethical principles, without this principle, there is no auditing or assurance. So we must study those principles, basic general principles, independence, integrity, objectivity, professional due care, technical standard, and professional behavior. Those will be studied, right, in detail, right? Those are the principles we had to discuss or study, right? So this relating to this subject, there's a standard. When we study these theoretical aspects, simultaneously we have to discuss the Sri Lanka auditing standards, right? There are several standards. The Sri Lanka auditing standard, like accounting standard, there are several standards, but we have no time to discuss each and every standard, but very important standard we will discuss, right? So that first standard we have to cover in this area, right? And that is 200 SLA US 200. Overall objective of the independent auditor auditor and the conduct of audit. Audit in accordance with Sri Lanka auditing standard. This first standard we have to discuss, right? Important aspects only we are going to discuss. Sri Lanka auditing standard SLA US 200, right? This is deal with overall objective of the independent auditor on the financial statement and other aspects, audit and conduct of audit in accordance with Sri Lanka auditing standard. That the auditor should carry out audit in accordance with Sri Lanka auditing standard. There are several standards, right? So each and every standard, auditors, professional, even chartered accountant, should be comply with this. If you are violate or if you are not follow this standard, you are answerable. In each and every audit report, you have to mention our audit was carried out in accordance with Sri Lanka auditing standard. So auditors' duty is to carry out the audit Sri Lanka auditing standard, right? So in this section, right? So we have to cover general principles of audit of financial statement and professional ethics, right? Under this standard covers this area, right? So this is the second aspects we had to discuss, right? Can you hear me, students? Can you see this board? Can you see this board? Can you understand this writing?
No, sir.
No, sir.
This board, you can't see this board.
The board is not clear, sir.
Board is not clear. So anyhow, I will read this introduction of auditing. That is today's lecture program. Today, I will discuss the introduction part. Right. So second is assurance engagement. This under this assurance engagement, we will discuss key areas of assurance engagement, definition of assurance or concept of assurance, elements of assurance engagement, type of assurance, benefit of assurance, and limitation of assurance. Right. Third area we will discuss general principles of audit of financial statement and professional ethics. To cover this area, we have to discuss Sri Lanka auditing standard 200. SLA US 200 deals with overall objective of independent auditor and conduct of audit in accordance with Sri Lanka auditing standard. Right. Then fourth, we have to, there are 5 or 6 principles, but we have to discuss out of 7 principles. We will discuss in detail independence. Auditors independence. Auditors independence. Auditors independence. Auditor should carry out his work independently. Independently means unbiased, without having any influence, free to do his work. That we'll discuss later, right? Auditors independence separately we have to study. Number 5, terms of engagement. Sometimes called letter of engagement. Sometimes called letter of engagement. This is like a contract. Two parties involved, main two parties, auditor and auditee or client. Before commencements of audit, both parties, auditor and client, should agree with certain terms and conditions. All the agreed terms and conditions should be laid down in written form. So this is called terms of engagement. What are the terms to be determined by the auditor? We agree with the auditor and auditee. So this is to guide this. There's the auditing standard SLA US 210. This is called letter of engagement. So this standard giving guidance how to prepare this letter. What are the contents of this letter, right? So you must follow. First, you should know what is this letter. What are the objective of this letter? What are the benefit of this letter of engagement and contents of this letter? All included in the Sri Lanka Auditing Standard 210. 210 SLA US 210 deals with agreeing the terms of engagement. Agreeing the terms of engagement. That's 210. 210. SLA US 210. Agreeing the terms of engagement. In this standard, several matters explain the preconditions for audit and so other matters we'll discuss, right? So, number 5, terms of audit engagement. Number 5. Number 6, we have to study the documentation of quality control that certain important standard only we are going to discuss. Audit documentation. Audit documentation or audit working papers. This standard, right? Basic importance of this documentation that auditors to prove his work, he should document whatever the work is carried out. All these works are documented, right? So in the course of audit, there are two main file auditors maintaining permanent audit file, current audit file. We will discuss later all this matter. This standard is SLAUS. Relevant standard is Sri Lanka auditing standard 230. 230 relating to audit documentation. Audit documentation or working papers, right? This is a separate section in the syllabus. Next one. Auditors' responsibilities. Auditors' responsibilities relating to fraud. Fraud means mostly vanchav. Vanchav and varadi. Vanchav means fraud, mostly. Varadi means balu. So there are differences between these terms, vanchav and varadi, fraud and error, right? So there are several methods we have to discuss. Auditors' responsibilities relating to fraud in an audit of financial statement. This standard is SLAUS 240. The relevant standard is 240. That standard also we had to discuss. Then another aspects in audit planning. Audit planning and risk assessment. You may study planning this term in the management subject or economic subject, but here this planning is different from those planning terms. That planning means whatever the audit work, if you carry out the audit work very efficiently and effectively, auditor should plan. So without plan, you can't the audit, you can't complete the audit efficiently and effectively. That is why standard requires to plan the audit, right? This audit plan and risk assessment. The audit work also based on the risk assessment. This is called risk-based audit, right? So you must identify the risk, assess the risk, and respond to the risk. So that these are the aspects covered here at the audit planning. Sri Lanka auditing standard SLAUS 300 relating to audit planning. In the website, you can get a copy of this standards, right? Before we commence the each and every standard, you must have a hard copy or soft copy of this each and every standard, right? Without this standard, I can't explain, right? So this is SLA US 300 relating to audit risk. Then 315 SLA US 315 identifying an assessment of audit risk. That this SLA US 315 identifying an assessment of audit risk. In audit, there are three types of audit risk: detention risk, control risk, inherent risk. That you should know what is audit risk, why the auditors are concerned about this risk, the components of risk, and other matters we will discuss. Right? When during the course of discussing the each and every auditing standard, we can study in detail. SLA US 315 deals with identifying and assessment of audit risk. SLA US 300 deals with audit planning. So under 8, we had to study these two areas, audit planning and audit risk. Then number 9, laws and regulations. What is laws and regulations? If you take organization, even university or company, they are compelled to comply these laws, rules, and regulations. If you violate these laws, rules, regulations, there are a lot of problems. If it is a university, there are provisions in the University Act. That those are the legal provisions. Likewise, there are circulars issued by the University Grants Commissions, treasuries, higher education ministries. There are several treasury circulars. There are several circulars, rules, regulation, internal regulations, external regulations, laws, right? So auditors should know about this. Auditor thanagandona mona violations. Endenda rules or regulations university or that audit பண்ற நிறுவனம் audit institutions violate whatever the laws or rules regulations not follow means non-compliance comply කරලා නැත්නම් that is called non-compliance, right? Non-compliance or deviations. So auditors should know about that. That is why this area is given laws and regulations. There are particular standard called NOCLAR, non-compliance with laws, rules, regulations. That is a particular standard also there. We will study that standard. 250. The consideration of laws and regulations in an audit of financial statement 250. SLA US 250. This is called NOCLAR. Consideration of laws and regulations of laws and regulation in an audit of finance statement. Audit karna consider current owner mona rules and regulations applicable for the particular audit institution. Those rules are followed or not followed. So that sometimes EPF Act is there. Some provisions. There are several. If you see the audit report of the universities, 17 universities, Auditor General's report, there are in the audit report, Monamana Ayatana, that whatever the government institution, that departments or ministries or corporations or universities or local authorities, whatever the institution, no problem. Every institution's Auditor General's reports, Vignagadi Vata, these matters are reported. So, audit karana kota, those laws, rules, regulations, kanagandon, right? That is why the standard is very, very important. 250, SLA US 250, right? Another matter is the audit evidence. Kachi, Kanakayo, Sandra. This is very, very important. That ultimate objective of the audit is and express an opinion on the financial statement. Matthiya Dendon. There are, when you carry out the audit, there are different type of audit opinions may be expressed. Unqualified opinion, qualified opinion, or adverse opinion, or sometimes unmodified opinion. Right? Unmodified, modified opinions are qualified opinion, disclaimer opinion, adverse opinion. Those opinion is based on the audit evidence. So this standard also very, very important. Without evidence, you are unable to express an opinion. That in this situation, auditors are disclaim the opinion. Disclaim means auditor we are unable to express an audit opinion on the financial statement. Sometimes the finance division of the university, all vouchers, books, records, everything is destroyed by fire. That's a limitation of audit scope. So that is why auditors are not in a position to carry out the audit, to obtain the audit evidence. So unable to even opinion on the financial state. So that is why audit evidence are very, very important. According to the standard, auditors should obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. SLA US 500. SLA US 500 deal with audit evidence. This is will study in detail what is evident, what is sufficient evidence, appropriate evidence, type of evidence, right? So that two tests to obtain audit evidence, test of control and substantive audit procedures we'll discuss later. Then method of obtaining audit evidence also we will discuss in this standard, right? So SLA US 500 dealt with the audit evidence, right? Kanakayu Sandral, Saatchi, right? Then next area is uh, analytical review. Analytical review means auditors should carry out analysis of the financial statement. That is called analytical review based on the particular financial statement. Maybe review analytically comparing with the previous year's financial statement, comparing with the budgetary informations, comparing with the similar industries, similar organizations. Based on that, auditors need to compute several ratios. Ratio analysis is also one of the methods of the analytical review. So, profitability ratios, capital ratios, turnover ratios, investment ratios, uh, liquidity ratios. You may compute those ratios and compare with these two financial statements. Then through this, auditors can come to some conclusions. They can find out some deficiencies. Sometimes gross profit ratio last year 40%, this year 20%. When the sales price is increased, but GP ratio declined, auditors should find out the reasons. So likewise, statutory rate of the interest is 20% or 25% for a loan, but they may charge 15% or 50, more or less that other than the statutory rate. So the auditors find out when carrying out analytical review, they can get some evidence. So this is called analytical review, right? Other one is internal control. We have to study another system of internal control. There are control system. Those control system established by the management to eliminate fraud, error, or other irregularities are called internal control system. This is not limited only for the financial control. Other than financial control, all control, physical control, personal control, every controls are called internal control system. So auditors, what are the components of you should know what is internal control, why this internal control, what are the components of the internal control system. All these matters, there are standard also deal with this internal control system. It's in the US. I look later. And this standard 265 is the standard this communication of matters of internal control, SLA US 265. Next area, auditors report on the financial statement. ultimate objective of the audit is a reporting on the financial statement of the audit entities, right? Audit report is different from other report. How to prepare the audit report? What are the contents of the audit report? Everything given in the Sri Lanka auditing standard SLA US 500. Sorry, 700. SLA US 700, Sri Lanka auditing standard 700, giving guidance how to prepare the complete reports from the financial statement. Form and contents, everything is yeah. If you deviate from the standard, well, you are not complying with the standard. So you must be careful. If you prepare the financial report on the financial statement, uh, this one, this, this 700 it is forming an opinion, forming an opinion, and opinion, and reporting on financial statement. This standard deals with the different type of opinion also. This opinion, unmodified opinion, modified opinion, qualified opinion, disclaimer opinion, adverse opinion, those type of opinion. In what situation, what opinion auditors should be expressed, all these matters are given example, everything, various aspects we will study in this standard, different type of audit opinion. Mathya, beginner Mathya, the Kanakaivu Aviprayangal, right? That is given or by the auditors on the finances, the audit report on the finances statement. This standard deals with how to prepare the audit report, the elements of audit reports. Sometimes examiner will ask you to prepare the audit reports. Sometimes professional exams, they are asked you to find out the mistake in the prepared audit report, right? So you must familiar how to prepare the audit reports. You can see in the website, several audit reports you can find out, private firms audit reports and government audit reports, everything is there. So everything is according, audit report is prepared in accordance with the Sri Lanka auditing standard. Audit opinion also expressed based on the Sri Lanka auditing standard. So this standard is very, very important for this preparation of audit report and develop audit opinion on the financial statement. Right. This is area 13. 14 students. I don't know whether you are listening or not. Students,
Yes, sir.
is it clear? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Your feedback is important. Otherwise, problem. Right. Don't worry. Don't worry much. I am not start to lecturing now. I am outlining the syllabus. Right. Don't afraid. This subject is, I know this subject is new to you. Right. So, a theoretical part based on the accounting knowledge, you must study. Don't worry. The section 14, internal auditing. The relevant standard SLAUS 610, considering the work of internal auditors. Considering the work of internal auditors. This you know that when I explain here that introduction part, you can find there are two types of audit. The one is external audit. External audit is a completely outside from the organization. That is called external auditor, fully independent person carried out this audit. That is called external audit. That audited they do not have any financial interest on the audit institution. Completely outside, not an employee, right? He's a independent person, professional person, completely outside engaged to audit. That is called external auditor. Some organization, even university also, apart from this external audit, they arrange for the benefit of the particular organization for the purpose of internal control system, right? They are establishing the audit that is called internal audit. Internal audit appointed by the management of the organization. Scope, duties, responsibilities are fixed by the management of the organization. Internal auditor directly report to the top management of the organization. This is called, there are various aspects we will study. Definition of internal control, definition of internal audit, objective of internal audit, scope of internal audit, differences between external audit and internal audit, the various matters we will discuss. So this standard is Sri Lanka Auditing Standard 610, relating to the considering the work of internal audit. The external auditor, වැඩ කරනකොට internal auditors වැඩ consider current owner. Why consider current owner, on what aspects to be covered, that will be studied later, right? So that is a standard requirements. The standard, you know what is standard? Standards are prescribed rule, like accounting standard. That is a rules or regulation. Nowadays, act, you can't violate. For the specified business enterprises, according to the Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standard Act number 15 of 1995, all the specified business enterprises must comply the standard, even accounting standard or auditing standard. You can't violate. The standards are developed by professional accounting bodies in Sri Lanka, Chartered Institute of Chartered Accountants, based on the International Federation of the Accountants. They are the apex professional body in the world. International Federation of the Accountants. They are publishing the standard time to time accounting and auditing standard. Based on that, Sri Lanka Institute of Chartered Accountant also published this standard for accounting and auditing. These are best practices. These are the laws for the specified business enterprises. You must comply, right? So that is why this is that is an introduction of the standard, right? Sometimes you may not aware of the standard, right? Why you should follow, right? That is a separate study in the third year advanced auditing, right? We will deal that contents of the Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standard Act number 15 of 1995. That provisions are there, monitoring board is there. If they violated, there are problems that we will discuss later. So these are the standards. That is a Sri Lanka Auditing Standards 610 relating to the considering the work of internal auditor. External auditor වැඩ කරනකොට internal auditors වැඩ සම්බන්ධ consider කරන්න ඕන, right? So other part we'll discuss later. So Mm. Up to now, how many areas I listed out? How many areas I listed out?
14.
Sorry, students, how many areas I have listed out for this syllabus? 15 or 16? Students, students, I don't know whether how many I want to escape this. Students, how many areas I listed out?
14, sir.
Fine, 14 areas up to now. The other area we had to discuss some auditing techniques. Some of the audit techniques also we had to study. Verification of assets and verification of assets and liabilities. In the balance sheet, you can find assets and liabilities. To examine or to check those assets and liabilities, auditors are using the techniques is called verification, right? Verification methods are different from each and every assets. Among the assets also different. Liabilities among the that if you take fixed assets, verification of motor vehicles is different from verification of buildings, land and buildings. So you must familiar, auditors must familiar how to verify assets, different assets shown in the balance sheet. Likewise, different liabilities shown in the balance sheet, you must familiar. So this is called verification of assets and liabilities. Once we study, you can easily understand. Right. Then other techniques is vouching or vouching or expenditure auditing. So this one, through that vouching means that the voucher is one of the supporting documentary audit evidence for the expenditure of payments. If you take cash flow, in the month 10,000 payments are there are 10,000 supporting documents, 10,000 vouchers. In the voucher, there are a lot of information: to whom paid, date of the payment, amount of the payment, what are the why this description of the payment, the vote particulars, everything is there. I will when we study, you can understand. This is also different techniques of the auditing. Vouching, 60% of the audit covers the vouching audit or expenditure audit, right? Then number 17, Audit of limited liability companies. Audit of limited liability companies. Right? Number 17. Then in the audit of limited liability companies, if you see the past papers, there are question tested. This is the legal provisions based on the Companies Act number 7 of 2007. According to the Companies Act, there are a lot of provisions, right? So there are specific provisions relating to the auditing, auditors' appointment, remuneration, auditors' rights, auditors' duties, auditors' removal of the auditors, removal of the auditors, information accessibility, the conflict of interest, auditors report on limited liability companies, auditors qualification and disqualification. Several provisions are there in the Companies Act number 7 of 2007, right? So we will discuss the appointment of auditors, qualification of the auditors, this is related to the company's audit, public limited liability company. So if you take companies, there are two types of companies, private companies and public companies. So both auditors qualifications, there are qualification need to is there according to the Act, Companies Act. What qualification? If you take only chartered accountants are entitled according to the Companies Act, chartered accountants, professionally qualified chartered accountants who is having certificate of practicing only can be auditor of the public limited liability company. Likewise, qualifications, disqualifications, appointment, how to appointment, general meeting, or sometime the first auditor, how they appointed, right? Auditors' rights, duties, remunerations, conflict of interest, auditors report on the public limited liability company. Certain information must be there in the audit report of the companies. Those matters we will discuss, and among other things, important legal provisions in the Companies Act number 7 of 2007. We will discuss when we during the lecture is audit of limited liability companies. Then I think important that certain new types of audit, the contemporary auditing. So you should have those days earlier, 5 or 10 years ago, this subject is not there, but nowadays popular around this type of audit is called forensic audit, performance audit, environment audit, forensic audit. Forensic audit, when the fraud or clear-cut corruptions, clear massive frauds are involved, that type of audit is forensic audit. There are certain rules, regulations are there. Like forensic audit, you must be aware about this forensic audit. Then if you take central bank corruption, they carried out forensic audit and find out the persons responsible. You can see the forensic audit reports published in the sometime website available. Forensic audit, performance audit or value for money audit, right? When carrying out, this is in the public sector, massive uh, government expenditure, especially given for education, health, but actually they don't know this money is utilized economically, efficiently, and effectively and environmental friendly. So to find out those matters that carry out this type of audit is called performance audit. This is a new concept. Other one audit is also environmental audit to check the environmental impact, right? That type of audit is carried out, environmental audit. So these are the main areas we are going to discuss in this syllabus, right? I am once again, don't get upset now. This now I am giving the outline only, the syllabus outline, right? So first we'll discuss today about introduction of auditing. Second aspects in the syllabus is assurance engagement. In the assurance engagement, you must know the concept of assurance, right? Elements of assurance, types of assurance, benefit of assurance, limitation of assurance, and other among other area also we discuss. Assurance, you must be clear about this assurance. Nowadays, the word is not using the auditing. Now they call assurance, right? That relationship between assurance engagement, auditing as engagement, attestation engagement, that also we will discuss here, assurance. Third aspects we will study general principles of auditing of financial statements and professional ethics. A professional ethics means every professional, doctors, engineers, lawyers, chartered accountants are professional. If you are a member of the professional, they have to adhere or they have to follow the professional ethical principle. Every professional body is introduced to follow this. So if it is a lawyer, there are law association, bar association introduce professional ethics to the legal professionals, like medical professional, chartered institute for the chartered accountants. They introduce the ethical principles: independence, integrity, objectivity, professional due care, confidentiality, the technical standard, and professional behavior. There are 7 principles we'll study here. Relating to this, understand, we are going to discuss Sri Lanka Auditing Standard 200, that is making the overall objective of the independent auditor in accordance and conduct of audit in accordance with the Sri Lanka auditing standard. There are 2 aspects: overall objective of the independent auditor. Second one, conduct of audit in accordance with the Sri Lanka auditing standard. This SLAS 200. That is a second area. Sorry, third area. Fourth area, we are separately studied about auditors' independence. Fifth area, terms of engagement, or otherwise you can call letter of engagement, right? The 2 parties mainly involved in the audit, auditor and auditee, before start the work, 13 terms and conditions, both parties agreed. So those agreed terms and conditions laid down in the letter, that is called letter of engagement. The standard provides guidance how to prepare the letter, contents of the letter of engagement. So sometimes examiner will ask you to draft the letter of engagement. Sometimes straightforward, they will ask the students the contents of the letter of engagement, benefit of the letter of engagement, objective of the letter of engagement. Likewise, several questions are tested. Then next area, audit documentation. Documentation of working papers, that is deal with standard is 230, audit documentation. Then auditors' responsibilities relating to fraud in an audit of finances statement. That standard is Sri Lanka Auditing Standard 204. Then audit planning and risk assessment. Audit planning, SLA US 300. Then 315, identifying and assessment of risk, audit risk. That is 315. Both standard we discussed. Next one, laws and regulations. Auditor Danagandona, Arieta Danagandona, Monamana, laws and regulations applicable to the audit institution. If you are appointed to the university auditor, without knowing university rules or regulations or provisions given in the University Act, you can't carry out the audit properly. So that is why the laws and regulations also auditors should thoroughly know. The relevant standard is 250, considering the law, rules, regulation in an audit of financial state. That is ninth area. 10th area is audit evidence. Kanakayu Sandral, beginner Sachi, right? Kanakayu Sandral, according to the standard, is 500. SLA use 500 deal with auditing evidence. According to the standard, auditors should obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. In this standard, you must know what is evidence, what is sufficiency, appropriateness, reliability of the evidence, how to obtain the method to obtain audit evidence, and the two main tests carried out by the auditor to obtain in the audit evidence. Those matters we will discuss. Then that is SLA use 500 relating to the audit evidence. Next one, analytical review. Sri Lanka Auditing Standard 520. Auditors are required to carry out analytical review on the finances state. You should know what is analytical review, how to do this analytical review. The professional exam practically tested. They are examiner giving two financial statement. You may ask to carry out analytical review. So those fluctuations you must identify, the ratios, through ratios you must identify inconsistencies. So those matters covers in the SLA use 520 analytical review. The purpose of analytical review, types of the how to carry out analytical review, those matters we'll discuss. Then internal control, where there are control system established by the organization, audit institution, that is called whole system of control, not only financial control, that is called internal control system. That is that duty to establish designing the control system, implement the control system, everything is rest with the management. That is a management responsibility. Auditor check how efficiently, effectively these control systems are implemented. There are five components of the control system that auditors should know about this internal control. What is internal control? Why this internal control? How to evaluate this internal control? Several matters we will discuss, right? The standard is 265. Then auditors report on financial statement. That is SLA use 700 and SLA use 705. Both standard we will discuss, right? That the audit report, you can't simply prepare your own way. You must follow the standard, how to prepare. The elements are there. That is given in the auditing standard 700. So accordingly, you must follow this, prepare the audit reports. Audit reports always contain the audit opinion. Opinion paragraph, you must scope paragraph, objective paragraph, objective of the audit, scope of the audit, opinion, several matters. The opinion, there are in what situation, what type of opinion is given, expressed, all these are given in the standard. So auditors may be given unmodified opinion. That is a clean opinion. Auditors satisfied everything. The financial statement showing true and fair view. No overstatement, understatement, errors, no possibility of fraud, free from the material misstatements. So auditors can consider to give an unmodified opinion or unqualified opinion. This is the best opinion. මේ beginner මේ මතය තමයි ඔක්කොම කැමති. எல்லாரும் விரும்புறது இந்த அன்மாடிஃபைட் ஒப்பீனியன். தேர் இஸ் நோ குவாலிஃபிகேஷன். அடுப்பாட்ட மூக்கொத் அந்த குறைபாடுகள் இல்லாவிட்டால் இந்த பெஸ்ட் ஒப்பீனியனை கொடுக்கலாம். அன்மாடிஃபைட் ஒப்பீனியன் வில் டிஸ்கஸ் in what situation unmodified opinion දෙන්න පුළුවන් audit report එක. Unmodified opinion is not possible. Auditor can modify කරනකොට modify கொடுக்கணும் என்றால் කරනකොට auditors can express qualified opinion, disclaimer opinion or adverse opinion. பாதகமான அல்லது கருத்துரிமையை மறுக்கிறது அல்லது முனைப்பாளியா. So there are several type of opinions. So in this section we will discuss with the examples and relevant the paragraph that is given in the standard, right? In what situation, what type of opinion should be given the auditors. That is a decision. This is a professional opinion. Auditors he can't decide his own way. That is given in the standard. These are the criteria should be followed, right? So this is clearly we'll discuss the standard 700 and 705 relating to the audit report and opinions. Then 14, section 14, that relating to the internal audit, right? This standard is 610 relating to the considering the work of internal audit. You should know what is internal audit, what are the definitions. There's a UK Institute of Internal Auditors. That definitions are there. That definition is used in the standard also. The proper definition, objective of the audit, internal auditing, scope of internal auditing, difference between internal auditor and external auditor, the evaluation of work done by the internal auditor. External auditor evaluate කරනකොට මොනවද පඩ සම්බන්ධ consider කරන. All these matters are given in the standard. We'll discuss later. Then the other section is the verification of assets and liabilities. This is the audit techniques used by the auditor when the balance sheet, financial position, they are giving assets and liabilities. Auditors should familiar how to verify different type of assets. Examiner asks you to giving a list of that in the financial position there's a land and building 3 million, motor vehicle 5 million, goodwill so much amount, debtors so much amount. So you may ask to carry out verification. Likewise liabilities. So list is given. So you must auditors should familiar different type of verification method for the different type of assets. Then vouching or expenditure audit. This is also one of the audit techniques we will study. Then audit of limited liability companies. Especially the Companies Act provision, Companies Act number 7 of 2007. There are provisions given appointment of auditors, qualifications of auditors, disqualification of auditors, removal of the auditors remuneration, auditors rights, auditors duties, auditors report on the financial statement, conflict of interest, information accessibility. Likewise, several matters are given in this Companies Act. So those provisions we will study. Then at last we had to consider the contemporary aspects that relating to the forestry audit, performance audit, environmental audit. These are the syllabus, right? These are the areas we have to discuss. This is the plan of our work. Still not, we are start the subject. Students, I want to know from your feedback, whether you uh, understand this outline or any problem. Students,
Understand, sir.
okay, fine, thank you. Others?
Yes,
Others? Okay, so, oh, right, we will move to next first session today. I know in your class, lecture class, there are students, some students already start the chartered exam, professional exam. Sometimes they are in the final stage or intermediate stage, I don't know. Some are not aware of about the subject, right? So I want to teach to satisfy everyone, right? So I want to start from the beginning, right? So sometimes those who studied earlier the subject, uh, they are sometimes boring, but there is no option, right? I will start from the beginning, right? Basic things. But when I ask questions, please try to answer. Otherwise, it is difficult to move forward without your feedback. So first, we'll start introduction part. I am asking from you, how many parties are involved in auditing, in the field of auditing? How many parties? You should answer. Don't worry about right or wrong. You answer. One party or two party or three party or more party. You answer how many parties are involved in the field of auditing. Students, I am not identifying your voice. I need your voice. Students, how many parties involved in the field of auditing? No problem. Any parties? Give name of the any party.
Three.
Sorry, three. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. What are the three parties?
Client, auditor, and auditee.
Very good. Very good. I am appreciating you. One is client. Client or auditee or organization needs auditing service. Organization needs auditing service, or sometimes for client, sometimes called auditee institution. That is one party. Other party, so auditor. Other party, please tell me who are the other party?
Auditee.
Auditee, okay. Other one, auditor. Other party? Any students? I audit current owner.
Client.
Client is the auditee, right? Already, that is number one. Number two, auditor. You told me three parties. Who are the other parties? Some parties are interested in on the organization. Who are the some parties interested on the organization? Those parties are called stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders, that is called interested parties. Who are those parties? Interested parties in the audit institution. If you take a company, who are the owner of the company? Shareholders. Shareholders are owner of the company, clients, organizations. But who is run the business? Who is run the management of the company? Shareholders. Is it possible to run the business by the shareholder? The directors, board of directors, right? Or managers, right? They are the parties, the client. The board of directors are run the business. But the interested parties are owners. In the business, owners are not manage the business. Owners are given, appoint someone to manage the business. The someone is a board of directors, right? Owners are shareholders. Owners or shareholders. Who are the other parties, interested parties in this business? Who are the other parties? Who are the stakeholders of the business or company? Students, this is a simple question. So this is a GC O level question I am asking from you. இந்த நிறுவனத்துல ஆர் அக்கறையுடைய ஆக்கள் கவுதா மே பிசினஸ் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டட் කරලා
Investors.
Yes, investors, shareholders, very good. Investors or owners or shareholders, investors, right? So who are the other parties? Creditors. Creditors interested on business because they want to recover the money given to this organization. Then who are the other parties? Future investors, takeovers, bidders, amalgamators, customers, trade union, government, very good, government, journalist, there are several parties, debtors, creditors, employees, trade unions, future investors, takeovers, bidders, amalgamators, shareholders, investors, future investors, owners, Okama interested on this business. These parties are called stakeholders, right? These are the three parties in the field of auditing. Actually, you should take this organization. Actually, what is happening in the organization? Any organization, what is happening? Any organization, what is happening? Any organization, what is happening? Any organization you can find input, process, output. What do input? There are resources, material, man, machine, manpower, money. Those are the called inputs. Any business, this input is necessary to conduct the business, right? So if you take this inputs, the 5 M's, they are always scarcities are there, right? These are the limited resources. That is why to control these resources, you have to account. Accounting is a control purpose. To control those resources, you have to account. If the resources are unlimited, like water, you need not account, right? Unlimited resources need not account. But these resources, material, men, money, measurement, methods, manpower, money, these are the limited resources. That is why control purpose accounting is there. What is accounting? There are business. There are in the organization. There are business. There are business transactions are there. Business transaction, but business transactions are accounted due to control purposes. So, what is accounting? Before you understand the auditing, you must understand the term what is accounting. You are doing accounts, no? What is accounting? තමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැනගන්න ඕන ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා හරියට දන්නවා what is accounting, but you try to expose what is accounting. What is accounting? Any students? I don't want too much time on this. These are the basic. Accounting is just recording the business transaction, right? Recording the business transaction, analyzing the business transaction, summarizing the business transaction, reporting the business transaction. That is called accounting, right? So here, what is happening here? Accounting. You should know what is accounting, right? So these are the financial information. This financial information to be submitted to whom? This financial information needed by whom? What is profit or what is loss? How much of profit? How much of loss? What are the assets? What are the liabilities? All are accounting informations. This information needs to whom? These owners wants to know what has happened in the business. So they want these informations, right, to take some decision. So these people want to take some decisions. Government tax authority want to take some decisions. That's why they need the financial information. Trade union needs financial information. Future investors needs the financial information, right? So if you take companies at the annual general meeting each and every financial year, they have to give according to the Company Act, the financial statements to be given the shareholders, owners of the company, right? This financial statement, right? If they are the financial statement or financial information, this board of directors given to the owners, if you are a shareholders, can you accept or not? Students, you must answer. This financial information by way of the financial statement given to the stakeholders, like given to the owners, if you are a shareholders, can you accept or you cannot accept? Directly given to these people. To answer, I am expecting from you to answer yes or no. I don't know whether you are in the class or somewhere. Participants, MS 61, 61, please answer. நான் சொன்னது விளங்குதா உங்களுக்கு? இந்த நிதி கூட்டுகள் financial information directlyயா shareholdersக்கு இந்த financial information கொடுத்தா நீங்கள் shareholders இருந்தா நீங்கள் can you accept or cannot accept?
Cannot accept.
Sorry?
Cannot accept.
Yes, very good. Why? What are the reasons behind this? You are not in a position to accept these financial statements prepared by the board of directors. There are some problems, isn't it? You said you can't accept this. Why? Why, students? What is the problem? If you answer, I can quickly finish this. What is the problem? In the problem, பிள்ளைகள் ஏன் ஆன்சர் பண்ணிடாது, ஏன் அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிடாது? That credibility is doubt. The credibility என்ற நம்பகத்தன்மை, விசுவாசன, credibility is doubt. Credibility is doubt. Credibility என்று சொல்றது நம்பகத்தன்மை, விசுவாசம். Viswasa is doubt, right? Why? These informations may contain fraud. May contain errors. Sometimes omissions. Omissions means some revenue or expenditure omitted in the financial statement. Omissions, overstatement, understatement, expenditure or revenue overstated or understated, or not sure. True and fair view. There's a wording, there's an explanation. True view and fair view. சாதாரண சத்திய உண்மையும் நியாயமான நிலையை காட்டவர் நிதி கூற்றுகள். Any audit report, auditors given that when expressing opinion, auditors should state whether financial statements are showing true and fair view. True and fair view. சாதாரண சத்திய உண்மையும் நேர்மையான நிலைமை. There's a problem. Not show true and fair view. Sometimes that is why you are not in a position to accept true and fair view. Not in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. Generally accepted accounting principles not followed when they prepare the financial statement. Generally accepted going concern, consistency, accrual, and other principles. Sometimes not in accordance with Sri Lanka accounting standard. Sometimes not prepared in accordance with Sri Lanka accounting standard. So likewise, several problems. Sometimes not disclose everything. Sometimes contingencies may be there. Somebody filed a case against the company. Company in future possibility to pay 500 million as a claims or some damages, right? So that fact is not disclosed in the financial statement, right? So lot of problems. Credibility is a problem. Number கூடிய மாதிரி இல்லை. Why? Sometimes this financial statement contains fraud or error. Sometimes omitted, omissions, understated, overstatements, not show true and fair view, not in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles, not in accordance with Sri Lanka accounting standard, not disclosed certain informations. Sometimes deliberately or accidentally misleaded. These people deliberately or accidentally misleading. Some information mislead to purchase this takeovers, bidders, right? Mislead the informations. So these are the problems. You understand these problems are possible. That is why you can't rely on these financial statements prepared by the board of directors of the company. Credibility problem due to these reasons. Due to this credibility விசுவாசனை நம்ப கூடிய மாதிரி இல்ல. What are the solution? What is the solution? You must find out the solution. Students, you must answer, otherwise students, what is the solution? Can you hear me? நான் கலைஞர் கேக்குதா உங்களுக்கு? அப்ப சொல்லுங்களேன், என்ன சொல்யூஷன் உண்டு? You can't accept. You are a shareholder. You are not in a position to accept this financial statement due to this problem. What is the solution? What is the remedy? எப்படி கொடுத்தா நீங்க அதை ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளுவீங்க?
We can audit it.
Why? Fine. If you audited this financial statement or this financial statement submitted along with the audit report, can you accept this?
Yeah.
Fine. You can accept. Fine. So, audit current owner, Vikne current owner, right? Vikne, who can audit? Who can audit? How the auditor? Any layman can audit? Ordinary person can audit? You have given the solution. You said audit karana, audit report dundana, accept karana puluhan kiwa. Mama illuwa, kauda audit karana puluhan. Kata the denna puluhan audit karana.
Audit firms.
Oh yes, audit firm or individual auditor can do, right? Who is the auditor? Sometime if you are a undergraduate student, right? One company asks you to carry out audits. Can you do the audit? According to the Companies Act, that is a problem. Certain qualification needed other than the degree. That is a one barrier. Other than this, one charitable institution, Povilo, Buddhist organization, or sports club, they are prepare accounts, ask you to carry out the audit. Is it possible? Sometimes possible. Audit is done by the individual person. This person should be a professional and independent person. That is a main important thing. Auditor is a professional and independent person. What is professional? He must have knowledge on this accounting. Without knowing accounting, is it possible to audit? No. So normally professional person means chartered accountant, right? He is having all knowledge on the business. So all the business transaction, laws, rules, regulation, everything he should know. Professional person. Doctors are called professional person. Why? අනිත් කට්ටිය surgery කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? පුළුවන්. Patient died. Problem. Only professional person තමයි කරන්න පුළුවන් professional job, right? So professional, this auditor is a professional person. That is a one thing. Professional person means he should have a knowledge on this accounting and the rules, regulations governed by the audit institutions. If it is a university audit can be carried out by the professional person, experienced person. That normally university audits are carried out by the officers of the National Audit Department, National Audit Office, right? That audit, their staff are carried out audit of the all public sector institutions, National Audit Office, right? So the professional person, that is one thing to understand what is professional person. Other thing, the independent person. What is independence? What is independent person? If you are a shareholder in the organization, can you carry out the audit? If you are involved in the preparation of accounts, can you carry out the audit? If you are a creditor of this company, Mr. X is a creditor of this company, 10 million loan given to this company. Can company audit appoint the Mr. X as auditor?
No.
No. Creditor or employee. Employee also not independent. Financial consultant not independent, right? The independent means he is a fully outsider, independent to this organization. He should not have involved the preparation of any work involved in the preparation of the accounts. He should not be an employee of this company. He should not be the creditors, debtors of the company, the financial consultant to the company, right? If it is so, this independent will affect. So the auditor is a professional person, independent person who is called upon to express an opinion on the financial statement, right? Who is called upon to express an opinion on the financial statement. That's why these financial statements to be given to the auditors. Auditors මොනද කරන්න පුළුවන්? என்ன செய்வார்கள்? Auditors financial statements once received financial statement, what can they do? They are carrying out critical examination on the financial statement. All the expenditure, revenue, assets, liabilities, ඔක්කොම critically පරීක්ෂා කරන්න ඕන. Right? පරීක්ෂා කරන්න පස්සේ අඩුපාඩු මොනවා හරි තිබුණා පුළුවන්. They can identify whatever shortcomings, right? Whatever violations, whatever fraud, whatever වැරදි, whatever omissions, whatever overstatement, understatement, everything he can find. That is a critical examination, right? He used the audit techniques. After completion of this audit, he should come to a conclusion on the financial statement, whether he is satisfied or unsatisfied. If he is satisfied, everything, books, records, and that manner he prepares the financial statement, if he is satisfied, he can express unmodified opinion. On the matter, unmodified or unqualified opinion can be expressed in this audit report. Otherwise, he can modify current qualified opinion or adverse or disclaimer. We'll study later, right? Those opinion matter we'll just study later. So along with the audit opinion, the audit report should be, audit report and financial statement should be submitted. Here, financial statements are submitted, auditors are submitted this report to the shareholders. According to the Companies Act, auditors submit this audit reports, the annual general meeting to the AGM. At the AGM, shareholders, they are submitting the audit reports and financial statement. If you check the audit report, every things, accounting deficiencies, system and control weaknesses, non-compliances, overstatement, understatement, procurement, non-compliance with procurement issues, wastages, uneconomic transaction, evidence, lack of evidence, everything, every adupart, every shortcomings, issues are reported in the audit report. Right? If you find the audit report in the website, you can see what is given, what are the matters given in the auditor's report on the financial statement. So now you can see this system. So this another word is accountability. What is this? Accountability. Bagabima. Kanakali Sagamai. What do you understand this term? Bagabima, neither. Accountability. What do you understand? Students, what do you understand this? Accountability, Kanakali Tagamai. What do you understand? Other words is stewardship. Accountability. If the accountability is not there, no need to submit the accounts. Accountability is you are answerable for the actions. Right? This shareholders given this money, their own money, to whom? Directors. Right? Directors are answerable. To whom? To the shareholders. That is called accountability. If you take government public money, public finance, what is public finance? All the money collected by government by way of taxes, levies and fees, everything was government revenue. So government collecting revenue from the public, government is answerable to the public. What has happened to the money? That government is answerable to account to the public. That is called accountability. Likewise, this shareholders are answerable to the directors are answerable to the shareholders. What has happened to their money, shareholders' money? So if the accountability is not there, no need to keep the accounts. Account is not there, no auditing. The accountability is very important. Accountability is a state of mind, the quality, state of being accountable, required, expected to justify actions and decisions, obligation or willingness to accept responsibility. This is an obligation to submit the accounts. That's an obligation. That is called accountability. This you should know what is account. What is accountability? These people accountable. These people accountable to these people. Unless otherwise, no need to prepare the finance state. Understand? So accountability or stewardship is the practices being steward. Someone employed to manage another person's property. That is why stewardship. These people, property is given to here. Their stewardship obligation to show the accounts. That is called accountable. They are answerable. They are answerable. They can't simply escape, right? So that is called accountable. So you must keep in mind, accountability is not there. No need to submit accounts. Accountability, you must correctly understand what is accounting, what is accountability, right? What is auditing, right? So this is the general idea about this introduction part. Here you should understand who are the parties involved in the field of audit. There are three parties: auditor, auditee, organization or client, and stakeholders, right? So you should know what is accounts, what is accountability, why these accounts are not accepted by the stakeholders, what are the remedies, who is the auditor, professional and independent person. Independent means outsider, independent, financially independent, right? Not an employee, right? He's the person uh, carried out auditing or critically examine all the transaction, accounts, books, records, and evidences, right? Books පරීක්ෂා කරන්න පුළුවන්, records පරීක්ෂා කරන්න පුළුවන්, transaction පරීක්ෂා කරන්න පුළුවන්, evidence ඔක්කොම පරීක්ෂා කරන්න. After completion of this examination, critical examination, he should finalize the audit report. The audit report, he should uh, include his opinion, Vigna Mathe, right? This is a Mathe. This annual general meeting, this financial statements along with the audit report submitted to shareholders. This is the general idea about this auditing. I hope you understood this introduction. விளங்குதா பிள்ளைகள்?
Yes, sir.
விளங்குது, right? Then when you speak about auditing, there are definitions given in the different books, different type definitions are given. A simple definition is audit is an examination of business records and by which the auditor is satisfied to report that profit or loss or accounts and balance sheet of the business are prepared in accordance to the legal and professional and they are showing the true and fair view. The accounts are showing true and fair view. He should satisfy. If he is not satisfied, he should state on what respect, with the reasons he should state why he is not satisfied. That is called auditing, right? Objective of auditing. What are the objective of auditing? Any students objective of auditing? What are the objective of the auditing? Sometimes you may say detect fraud or error. That is that correct? Detection of fraud or error. Is that correct? இப்ப கணக்காய்வின் நோக்கம் என்னண்டா களவு பிடிக்கிறதுன்றா நீங்க நினைப்பீங்க சரிதானே சரியா பிள்ளையா The objective of audit is detection of fraud or error. Is it correct? Is that correct?
Correct, sir.
Sorry? Please repeat. Correct or wrong?
Correct, sir.
You can't say that because the detection of fraud or error, that is a management responsibility. That is not an auditor's responsibility. Why? If the well-planned fraud is happened, all the management personnel are involved, this fraud, auditor is not possible to detect. Auditors carry out this audit in accordance with their standard and guidelines. Sometimes there may be a possibility that those frauds unable to detect. That is not a main objective of the auditors. Those are the objectives, secondary objective. If the audit is conducted in accordance with Sri Lanka auditing standards and the relevant laws, rules, regulations, this will automatically detect it. That is not a main objective, right? That we are giving a reasonable assurance. Later we can study the assurance engagement. The main objective of the audit is there are if you take objectives, there are two types of objective. What is main objective? Any books you can find main objective and secondary objective. Main objective is reporting. Report on financial statement, whether financial statements are showing true and fair view, whether he is satisfied on the financial statements or books and records, transactions. If you are not satisfied, on what respect you are not satisfied, you should report. That is main objective is a reporting. Secondary, report on the financial statement. Secondary object, detection of fraud, detection of errors, prevention of fraud, prevention of errors, detection and prevention of fraud and errors. These are the secondary objectives. So if the main objective is detection of fraud, if it is so, every fraud not detected by the auditor may be sued. That is the management responsibility. Management should have a full or effective internal control system. Management should design the internal control system and implement the effective internal control system. They can eliminate the fraud. You can't blame the auditors to not detect fraud or errors. If you take Eastern University, for example, there may be a lot of fraud, right? One shower is going on, especially for example, procurement, some computer purchase, massive fraud is there. Oh, auditors are unable to detect this because certification, if you take one transaction, there are several persons involved. All this, if you take even voucher, certification, approval, payment, these are these authorities given by different person, right? Authorization, approval, certifications, all together polluted. Some fraud is committed. Auditors are not possible to detect this fraud unless otherwise information is given. It is not possible. That is a limitation of audit. So that's why I am telling you, you should know the detection of fraud or error. That main responsibility is rest with the management, not with the auditors. Auditors, the objective, secondary objective is a detection of fraud, detection of error, prevention of fraud, prevention of errors, and other duties are there, right? So you must keep in mind the detection and prevention of fraud, error, and other irregularities are that responsibilities rest the management. You can't blame the auditors, right? So some people, those who are not knowing this subject, they are thinking auditors means kallam pidikiraakal endru thaan avel yosik. Auditors kallam pidikkiradhu nokam illa, reporting the main nokam. When reporting, if there are fraud or error, properly audit karana kotta, that is automatically detected. Unless there are decided cases, court cases also, Kingston Cotton Mills case, there are a lot of cases, Mackison, Robinson cases are there. So based on these cases, you can understand the auditor's responsibility. This in the syllabus, I am not given the cases. That is auditor's liabilities, comes under auditor's liabilities. So its time is around 12 o'clock. So I try to wind up at this point, right? If you want to share anything, you can talk, your opinion or anything. Normally, once the lecture is over, I am giving some questions, right? So you try to, within 5 minutes, try to write down some questions. Are you ready to write down? This is for your assignments, not this one. Amalgamating after 40 or 50 questions comes, you have to submit these answers. But please write down. Number one, briefly explain the following terms. Students, briefly explain the following terms. A, accounting. B, accountability. C, auditing. D, true and fair view. True and fair view. True and fair view. Is it okay? Students?
Okay.
Question number 2. Define the term. Define the term auditing. Number 3, briefly explain the main objective and secondary objectives of auditing. What is the number next one? Third or fourth?
Fourth, sir.
Fourth, right. How accounting is differ from how accounting is differ from auditing. How accounting is differ from you can differentiate accounting and auditing, right? Here you can put column wise. Accounting and auditing. Here you can put objective. Number 2, scope. Number 3, status. Number 4, qualification. Number 5, tenure of service. Tenure, T-U-N-E-R-E, tenure of service. Tenure means period. Service. Time period of work. Nature of work. Accountability. For example, accountable. Accountant is accountable to whom? Manager. Accountant accountable to manager or director, board of directors. Auditor is accountable to shareholders. Likewise, you can fill up this. This is blue. Altogether, how many questions given?
4, sir.
Sir,
4.
can you tell us what is the third one? It's not clear.
Third one. Third one is
On the board.
on the board. Third, objective, scope, status.
Okay, thank
Status.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Status. An accountant is an employee of the organization. Here, the auditor is an independent person outside the organization. That is the status, right? So, likewise, you can these differences you can give different forms, right? These are the main. This one. These are the this to understand these basic principles, basic introductions. These questions are given. So next from next lecture program, we will start certain types of audit, right? Types of audit, classification of audit. Then we can directly come to this assurance that so we will wind up at this point. The balance part of the introduction is introductions are balanced part. We have to discuss the types of audit and classification of audit. So I will brief, not detailed explanation is given. So I will brief some main classification of auditing and types of audit. For example, statutory audit, non-statutory audit, internal audit, external audit. Likewise, I will explain those matters. After that, we can come directly to the assurance engagement. Right? I am having some slides and Sri Lanka auditing standard 200. I will discuss the next class. So, any other
Excuse me.
comments? Yes.
Tomorrow, Sundays, we go to church at 9 o'clock.
Right. Okay. We'll stop this class tomorrow. No need. So you discuss with your students prep. Monday and Tuesday not possible to me. I am attending some meeting at Colombo. So Monday, Tuesday not possible. After Wednesday, you can if you whatever the possible time you discuss all together with the student rep and inform me. We had to, because some backlogs are there, that this lecture program would have been started beginning of this month. Unfortunately, date, right? This month only took this today one lecture only, right? We had to speed up next month, right? And try to cover backlog, right? When is your exam schedule? When is your exam schedule? When is your scheduled month of exam? August or September?
August.
August, July, August. So we have to speed up. I think it is possible to take lectures in the night times better. 2 hours, 2 hours. We can clear the backlogs, and after that, that if we clear, we can complete this lecture program in time. So you must keep in mind your written assignments carries marks, and quiz exam, MCQ examination also carries marks for 35%. So written exam 65%. You tell your friends last previous years this online lecture program performance is very not satisfactory. Not only my subject, all other subject also. Your students ask the students to take serious about this, right? You try to attend and listen to the lectures. Otherwise, problem in writing the exam paper, right? So with this message, we'll conclude. Any other comments, please, students? Students, students. So tomorrow 9 a.m. we want to go to church. Okay, understand. I need your feedback. If there are any modification in the lecture program, or that my voice or any speed, if you feel any speed or difficult to understand, you can come up. You can, if there are any problem, you can state. I need your comment. Student rep, please convey your message. Any problems or any comments? Sometimes they may feel the speed. This is very clear. Okay, thank you so much. Your positive comments are there. The lecture is very clear. I am very happy about this. Your cooperation, your comment, positive comments. Thank you so much. So don't hesitate anything. It is a lecture program or this for you. So whatever I pray and hope to you all get through the exam. This without any fail, you must get through this exam. And apart from that, even after completing this lecture program, complete this degree program, you must become a government accountant and the auditors. There are competitive exam. You must pass this. So that is I am praying for this. This university exam is not a difficult one. So anyhow, you must keep in mind these notes, the informations, everything is very important, right? So thank you so much. We'll continue. No class tomorrow. On your request, I am not having a class tomorrow. So you discuss with your student rep and inform me after. I think it is possible after Wednesday. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much. We will wind up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.